What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday night at about 11:10 p.m. And I see these ads for these people that are making, these little courses that say, "Hey, how can you spend your time better throughout the year? Instead of spending so much time on your phone, you could be spending time learning and doing all this stuff and, bettering yourself and all this and that." And I wanted to make a video just to kind of say a point. You have all these people doing these videos. They're trying to extract money from people. That's why he made that. You might say he made that to help people, the course, but he made that to extract money off of peasants, like lower income people, or maybe middle class, whatever. But you'll see why it doesn't really matter soon. Essentially, he's trying to scrape up whatever scraps he can get because there's not a lot of traditional jobs available anymore, like for good pay. Yeah, sure, you can work at McDonald's type of jobs, making your $12 to $14 an hour. But to land the $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 jobs is not easy to do. And there's only so many of those to get. You got to be an AI guy now these days. But the big overarching thing I wanted to say is there's not that many scraps to get anymore. The peasants don't really have a lot of money. The main bulk of the money is with the top 1%, and even beyond that, the top 0.1%. I wish I had some better data on this, but I do think it's something like the top 0.1% of the country. That's 0.1%, okay, of the country has more than the bottom 50%. I think it's like that. If you if you think about it, the people that are in the top 0.1, that's going to be like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison. Well, those guys right there, just those like four people. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, just take like those five people. Man, they got to have more net worth than like 30% of the country, I would think. Just those five guys, the bottom 30%. And so the scraps are just not going to be there for people to keep getting. Like the peasants are fighting to get whatever little bits are below, get like the whatever little bits of money that are down there to get, But there's not going to be a lot out there to get. The money is concentrated with these massive billionaires, and just the piece of the pie is just not there. Those guys aren't going to give away their money, and nor should they need to, I guess, right? I mean, who's saying that they need to? But they're controlling so much of the assets, and there's just not a lot of extra money out there for the peasants to get. So peasants make those courses to try to take money off of other peasants. Other peasants aren't going to sign up because they don't have the money to pay for it. It's just going to be this vicious circle. Have you noticed how everybody's flipping things so much these days? Everybody's a flipper. I'm actually a flipper. I flip stuff. That's another way for peasants to make extra money. They buy things for a little bit of a cheaper price, then they sell it for a more premium price. And then many times what happens is, especially if you're selling a lot of things in one bundle, people buy it from you and then they try to sell it for an even higher price, Whatnot apparently is like 90% resellers. That's the app. I'm on there right now, actually. So you have these shops that are, selling their stuff for premiums over what they bought it for. Then there's resellers that pick it up and try to sell it for more. Oh, excuse me. And we live in a crazy world like that with just constant, fighting amongst the smaller income people and the unemployed people and all this and that. So I don't know how the future is going to look for that in the USA. Because with those wealth concentrations, they're not going to ever lose any of that money. They're just going to keep getting more and more rich forever. And the bottom people are not really bettering themselves. They don't really have a lot of paths to do that. Unless they make their own thing and somehow get lucky with that. But it's not easy for the average guy just to, become a millionaire, billionaire person. It happens, yes. It definitely does. But it's not, not everyone's doing it, that's for sure. And just want to make that video. Yeah, there's just, I had a good title in mind. I wish I could go back and think. It's kind of something like there is no more money, or something like that. Something like there is no more scraps to get. I had a good title in mind. I wish I could see that commercial over again, because I just really was thinking, it's like, there's nothing to fight over anymore, guys. There's not a lot of money out there to get, dude. It's concentrated. It's away from us. It's not coming back probably. And I didn't even mention Bill Gates. He's another one if you want to include him in there. The top 6. Who's some other rich people here? Who else can I think of? They had the Palantir guy. Person that owns the jewelry. I can't remember his name, but he owns some big jewelry company, famous jewelry bags, stuff like that. Arnault, maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know what we're gonna do about it, how that's gonna go down, but especially in this new world with AI, the concentrations and the wealth inequality, I guess, is just going to continue to just get worse and worse. So there's just going to be no money for the peasants to fight over anymore, you know, because they're just viciously trying to get whatever scraps are there. There's not going to be any scraps. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.